Hello for the 23rd week in Ordinary Time, September 6, 7. The theme is living with someone or living with others. You know, at the end of the Gospel, Jesus talks about where two or three are gathered together in my name, there I am in the midst of them. In the name of Jesus, you and I are living together. And when we live in the name of Jesus or in the message of Jesus, there's peace, there's love, there's harmony, there's nonviolence. But when two or three of us are not gathered in the name of Jesus or in the harmony of God's creation, the way He made us, there is not peace, harmony, and love. And we experience that a lot. First of all, Jesus said, well, if there's two or three of you, whatever, if your brother or your sister has something against you, well, then go to your brother or to your sister, the other person, and tell them their fault or your concern or your fault, whatever, one-on-one. And perhaps you will win over your brother or your sister, and you'll be in peace and love and harmony again. Well, this happens not just one-on-one, but this happens with not two or three, but 2,000 or 3,000 people trying to live together in a given community. And if you're living in the message of Jesus, there will be harmony, love, and a great community. If we do not live in the message of Jesus or the way God made us, there are some big problems between the 2,000 and 3,000 people. And, you know, you can do the same thing. I mean, as far as countries, 2 or 3 countries. And if we don't live the way God created us, there's big, big problems. And that's the problem. You know, on the one-on-one, it's rather simple. In the 2,000 or 3,000, well, yeah, take a group of people, take a few other people, and work it out, a committee, a group, representatives, and ventilate your concerns, and listen to the other, and you might win back peace, harmony, and love. But it's not so simple, is it, when we have countries? When we have countries sparring against one another, 2 or 3 countries, the United States, Russia, Syria, Iraq, and so forth, the Palestinians and the Jews. Well, the same thing applies. Go, get a group, communicate, listen to, and talk about your concerns. And if you do it, you have won back your brothers and sisters. You have won the other country where the two of you can exist together on this planet. Well, it is complicated because often the larger the group, the countries, you know, we cannot or we will not live together in peace and harmony and love the way God made us. And it is extremely complicated. Well, sometimes the best thing you can do, even in an individual basis, if you can't live with, well then separate and live apart, but respect the other part. So this country respects the other country, and the other this country. That you respect him or her, and he or she respects you, if you can't live together. Well, I think really that is what Jesus is saying. Jesus says, I know in this world, on this planet, when people live together, even 1 and 2 and 3 individuals, or 1 and 2 and 3 thousands, or countries or lands, it's not easy. Sometimes you have to separate. I do know this, that the message of Jesus is not easy to work out. It's ideal. Or you could even say the message of Mohammed, or the message contained in the Quran, is not easy to work out. Lots of understanding and misunderstanding. Or the message of the Jewish people, or the message of the Old Testament. It's there. But do we digest it and really work it out? In all honesty, the one-on-one, the one-on-one is the best, but that's not our life. That's not the way we live. The larger the number, the country or the land or the government, the harder it becomes. Ezekiel, in the first reading, the prophet, he was supposed to be the watchman for the house of Israel. As we know, Putin is the watchman for Russia. And as we know, Obama is the watchman for the United States. Jesus wants us always to start with ourselves and the other person. Love your neighbor as much as you love yourself. Forgive your neighbor the way you're supposed to forgive yourself. Go to your neighbor one-on-one. There's a problem. Go to the group. Go to the country. Go and try to be reconciled with one another. That's the only way we will really have true love, peace, harmony, and above all, nonviolence. Golly, we see wars all over. Violence all over. You and I are called, we Catholics or Christians, we're called to listen to the message of Jesus, and we think that's special. Do you go to your brother or your sister when there's a problem? Or like most of us, do you wait for your brother or your sister to admit their error and come to you and to say, I'm sorry? Never forget, the biggest person is the person who makes the first move. Good stuff. We all ought to try it more often. Have a good day.